Thank you very much for staying with us. It's now time for us to take you through our guest discussion segment at this hour. And to do this, we'll be letting you know that the National Assembly has taken a drastic step to nip on the bud mass exodus of health workers to the Western world. According to the Green Chamber, an amendment on Medical and Dental Practitioners Act is in the way to tackling the current trend of health workers' migration to other nations. The amendment seeks to make it compulsory for graduates in medical and dental fields to render services within Nigeria for 5 years before being granted full license. Though other sectors of the economy are also affected by the Japa syndrome, the National Assembly believe that the health sector is mostly affected. While the National Assembly is doing all it can to restrict health workers from leaving the country, the United Kingdom has placed Nigeria on the red list of countries that should not be actively targeted for recruitment by health and social care employers. This is coming 1 month after the World Health Organization listed 55 countries, including Nigeria, facing the most pressing health workforce challenges related to the universal health coverage. Now, to do justice to this, or in relation to this background story we just painted, we'll be looking at the topic which is a concern for us at this time, and we'll be looking at the proposed compulsory 5-year service for health workers in focus. Now, to help us talk about this, to help us make a sense out of this topic, and also in relation to the background story we just painted, we have on the line with us this morning Dr. Kayode. Dr. Kayode is a political technocrat. Dr. Kayode, good morning and welcome to iBrand Daybreak this morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, how are you doing, Dr. Kayode?
I'm fine, thank God.
Okay. Dr. Akoni Abiola, sorry. How are you doing this morning?
Fine, thank God.
Okay, good to
Thank
see.
God for the favor and the mercy on us.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being on the show this morning. Now, Dr. Akoni, if you listen to the background story we just painted vis-a-vis the topic we are discussing, it's really generating controversial statements and reactions by Nigerians. In fact, the bill is not really sitting well on Nigerians. Let's start from here. What's your perspective concerning the proposed bill by a sitting Senate Speaker who is actually saying that Nigerians who are graduating from the universities will not be given licenses to practice until they are 5 years, or until after they've given out their service for 5 years, they can now be given these licenses to now travel abroad, either for, as alleged, greener pastures. What's your perspective on this? Let's start from there.
Firstly, it's supposed big and try to work on it, and if it's affected or it's affected by the medical practitioners, the realization of medical practitioners will be able to work. With the process is going on, and the findings have to be done, and the analysis has to be done with the medical team to see the analysis of what the medical teams are passing through and what are the availability of the assessment to those practices and the values of what the professionals are passing through and the challenges on daily basis when it comes to experience, when it comes to doing dreams in Nigeria. You understand that is a proposal and they are working on it, and being affected or not affected is the process that will determine the finalized outcome of the proposed, because I don't want to give a statement for the member of addition of the medical things to decide, but with the look of things, you can see that Nigerians about this operation of Japa or moving around or traveling outside the country. It's not about literally about medical doctors alone. Also, the professional nurses. It's a teamwork. You understand? When it comes to medical things, and they are more valued and more being valued and presented in outside the country, and that's why you see everybody moving around. Even the so-called other kids trying to get a care assistant, a carer in different countries or support care or volunteer care, going out abroad just to get their daily living and for them to be in comfort zone. That's one of the major things. You need to look at what are the Nigerians, what are their take about it. Even the public and the people that are looking of what to do. You know, by the time in the next 5-10 years, if this guy is not taking, you find out that you are looking the genuine aspect in the country, and if care is not taken, we'll be losing our people. Or find that you don't have experience or you don't have a consultant that well experienced in some social things. That's why it's advisable. We should look into it very well. We should be careful, and people in charge of this deed or the proposed should be careful to know what are the best for the Nigerians and what are the ways out to help our medical management and get the best for our people.
All right. Now you've mentioned the fact that it's not just the medical doctors. You know, we're looking at a whole team, which of course includes nurses and of course,
nurses, yes.
yeah, and other professionals in the medical field. But come to look at it, we're talking about causes versus effect, and don't you think that this bill that is put by the senator is more of a reactive measure than a proactive measure? That is number one. Number two, why are we talking about holding down medical professionals, whether they are doctors or nurses, when the right environment that could give them an opportunity to be able to practice their profession in a more professional way is not there? And you're telling them that you cannot issue them licenses until after 5 years. Is that a wickedness, as some would see it as?
That's a kind of a reaction, a negative reaction towards the medical practitioners in the country, because for a family that tries to stay inside to pass through the process of schooling and nursing or general nursing for BSc for 6 years, and at the end of the day, you will now have to hold them answer for another 5 years for them to be licensed for the years of accumulation of stress, family commitment, all those things, and for them to start their own life, start their own family. To hold them for 5 years is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. It's abusive. And another thing is that if there is a reaction towards people traveling abroad for medical practice or for medical stuff of management, there are other ways, the other alternatives you can take. The other steps you can take to make them more appreciative and valued. You can give them a incentive of probably a house, housing, or a car, or a note like that. From there, they can be paying small for maybe to give a mortgage on a car, mortgage on a housing, mortgage. From there, they can pay for it. Indirectly, you can use that to hold them that 5 years, 10 years to pay some of this, going to have access to this complete duplex, or maybe a car. But giving them after 6 years, and you know that our norm here is that there's always a strike on every year basis that a program of 6-7 years, you are using 10 years or 11 years to finish a program. And then of them adding another 5 years, meaning that you're looking at about 15 years for you to have a license to practice or for you to have license to travel. If you have other stuff to travel, maybe you have for a family program, family outing outside the country, or a kind of vacation trip. Because you being a medical professional, you don't have access to have your freedom, you don't have access to move around, you don't have access to see your family, you don't have access to get another experience. You may be a medical practitioner and see any to further your education, maybe, progress in maybe another field, it may be law, it may be other things, not also diversify. But all these things, you are holding them out from that you cannot even achieve their aim being a medical practitioner, also to get the benefit of that professional, and keeping them also to get another further education or move forward about their life or to start their own life. You know, these are crises that not acceptable because we should give them the best. You know, when you give them the best, Nigeria, you don't demand too much. Just give us what we want. Just put the people that satisfy at least 60-70% people who are prepared. I mean, just someone who to travel, if the environment is conducive, if the environment is enjoyable, if you can do that, if you can have your children in a very peaceful environment, I think everybody is very stay back to that. Will be a master, if there will be a master here, being a slave there outside the country. And try that Nigerians are being the best when it comes to medical practice or medical team.
Indeed. Let me.
Medical practitioners there. They are one of the best practitioners outside the country there.
All right, let me butt in here, Mr. Akoni. What you've said is really, accepted, undisputed. But let me also shock you, because I have some reports here I'm going to be reading to you now, because I'm sure as a health expert that you are, you know some of the factors that has really contributed to the Japa syndrome, to the brain drain that this senator in person of Ganiu Johnson is sponsoring, which to him, he feels that is going to meet the needs on ground for as long as the health crisis is concerned. Now, let me shock you what the former president of the Nigerian Medical Association, which is NMA in Geneva, he said that the sponsor of this bill claimed that we have 10,000 doctors practicing in Nigeria, adding that the claim alone clearly shows that these people do not really do any research. Now he is saying that that report of 10,000 doctors is wrong. Now he also says that from the information available to him as at December 30th, 2022, there are about 104,327 medical and dental practitioners on the register of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. Now he continues to say, with the number practicing doctors put at 56,829 of them. So he is now saying, where did this Ganiu Johnson got his own report or data saying that we have 10,000 doctors, which is wrong. Now, if he cannot get a concrete... Hello, can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I want to get the fact from the election of the medical practitioners.
No, I'm not done. Just a moment. I'm not done. What I'm trying to say in my intro now is that if this senator cannot even give us, a concrete number of the number of doctors we have and other medical experts in the country, how do we think that his bill will be able to address this problem if he doesn't even know? He's far from touch with terms of the reality on ground. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. Just hold on. Hold on. We'll come back to you so that you can share your thoughts with us on this before I proceed. But let's not lose the person we have on Zoom. Good morning and welcome, Mr. John Oladapo, to the program.
Good morning, sir.
How are you
doing?
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to have me on your show this morning.
Thank you very much for joining us on iBrandTV this morning. Now, if you are listening to us, we know you are calling us from Ibadan, right?
Yeah.
Now,
yes,
if
I'm
you
calling
listen
from Ibadan.
to the discussion we're having with Dr. Akoni, which we want you to also share with us your perspective on it, we are looking at the brain drain syndrome in the country, whereby doctors are leaving for a lot of factors, and a senator, Ganiu Johnson, is coming up with a bill thinking it is going to address the issue of brain drain in the health sector. And of course, this bill is not really sitting well with Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians are reacting to it. And of course, there are no enabling environment to really address this need. But he's coming up with a bill, for the purpose of addressing the problem. In your own perspective, what do you think? is, I mean, what do you think concerning the bill being put together by this senator? Do you think it will see the light of day?
Thank you very much, sir. I'm very sure that this bill will not see the light of day. The bill, I would say, is just an academic exercise in futility. The reasons are not far-fetched, and you have highlighted some of them in your discourse this morning. You made mention of the fact that the premise upon which the distinguished member of the Federal House of Representatives, Ganiyu Johnson, was making his proposition of that bill were faulty. It was also a fallacy to assume that we have just met 10,000 doctors in Nigeria. The numbers are higher than that.
Exactly.
And the past chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association have rightly put that out and corrected that notion. Now, that said, we have an emergency in our hands. We have a very critical situation, which is occasioned by the brain drain. We are not just draining brains now. We are actually pouring them out in droves. In the last 4 years, brain drain has been exacerbated by the worsening economic situation of the country, the lack of equipment and items to carry out our activity, our responsibilities as doctors and medical practitioners, also coupled with job dissatisfaction and the burnout syndrome that a lot of doctors have experienced. I currently serve as the General Secretary of the Association of Resident Doctors, University College Hospital, Ibadan. And I can tell you that compared to our numbers in the last 3 years, in the last 4 years, where we used to have a membership strength of around 700, we are currently down to around 450. Now, that tells you that a lot of our colleagues are not finishing the training. They are not getting done with residency training, and that is going to create a knowledge gap, a deficit gap of specialists in the next 5 to 10 years. So that is what the Senate, the Federal House of Rep member should be looking at ways to encourage young doctors, young healthcare workers, to inspire hope in them, to give them an opportunity to thrive in their country and not make them feel that they are.
All right, I think we lost you there, but as when we're able to establish contact with you, we'll come back to you. Mr. Dr. Akoni, are you there?
Yeah, okay.
All right, so I want you now to respond to my question. I said that the minister or the Senate member, exactly, Ganiyu Johnson, he has actually lost touch with reality on ground. Looking at the fact that it's giving us wrong data, saying that we have 10,000 doctors, but we have more than 10,000 doctors, in reality. Then again, he's not also talking about the factors, affecting this brain drain, which is, occasion to, let me read them out to you now: infrastructure insecurity, uncompetitive wages, and also the unemployment and underemployment of medical and dental practitioners, among other factors. Don't you think that this senator should have at first tried to see how all of these factors, contributing to this menace, should first be put together before now coming up with the bill? Because if after coming up with the bill and all of these things are put together and doctors are not still able to stay, then it will not make a sense for him to be able to put this bill out there to really make sure that no doctor leave the country but are able to serve and give back what has been invested on them. What do you think on that?
Yeah, the analysis of the getting the wrong database, and what is one of the major problems we are having in the country. Sometimes when our database is wrong, or we don't get the facts about the database, the decision making or conclusion is going to be wrong, and the bill will not be able to give us any positive result. It's just, or at least an opportunity for and an eye opener for the medical professionals. The thing, the organization to come, both medical professionals, the doctors and the professional nurses to come up with their database of every teaching hospital. If I'm talking about teaching hospital, this morning I'm listening that in a private school, that if a student of medicine now graduated, are we going to pass through the same bid onto private universities, or is just in general, it's just a national university alone? You know, that those are things we need to look at. That the database of what they are saying, are they really sure of it? And if the environment is not conducive, everybody will find a way of getting out of the country, or even other claiming other professionals. It's not compulsory to claim you're a doctor. You can claim other things and move out from there to try and go and show you what you know. You understand? That's why it's very, very important for our leaders and for the head of everything to think a database and do a very good follow-up on this issue for us to have a positive result, and also for to improve when it comes to improvement for medical, for a proper diagnosis. We need to work hand in hand to get the proper medical diagnosis for our people, because if not, we will be lacking behind, and I don't know, we are decreasing the death rate in the country. And for the young ones coming on, being a medical practitioner will not be attractive or will not be encouraging to them. Because I thought you are spending 12 years or 15 years on the program. Once you want to start your personal life, once you want to bank yourself, once you want to become there. And every family will be discouraged, because when they want to get the funds and the money, the capital, and need to train a child for 15 or 10 years, and it's not funny anymore.
All right, now can you quickly respond to the issue of still talking about cause versus effect? Can you please respond to us quickly, very quickly, before we bounce back on our other guest who is on Zoom, on issues that border on infrastructure decay? We're looking at hospitals that are ill-equipped, hospitals that are running without electricity, doctors, nurses, and these professionals who are underpaid. What can you say about that is being put in place currently to address these issues?
That's the major cause of what we've been discussing this morning. If infrastructure and equipment not available, that's the major thing. Like, when you are working as if you like a slavery and don't even have access to a new equipment or a new edition of equipment. Not sometimes outdated equipment are just available everywhere. When you have to make use of the latest equipment for you to have a proper diagnosis and proper management. Because when you get a wrong diagnosis, you are going to get a wrong management and you will get a bad result. That's why, infrastructure, I've already said it earlier that if infrastructure is well available, the environment is conducive, nobody is running away, nobody will be at least happy to express his knowledge, to share his knowledge, to transform his knowledge, and to practice what he knows, and he can probably spread the knowledge and give room to other people coming in to learn from that room, that team. It's a teamwork. But by the time the high team is going away, some team will not be able to have access to them. And this is a practice, not practice-based practice. When it comes to medical practice, it's something you see on daily basis, makes it to be more convenient, more mature on that practice.
All right.
And when those things are not, yes.
All right, doctor, let's not lose our other guest who is also standing by. John Oladapo, I can see you are back.
Yes, I'm with you.
All right, now I want you to react on this.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly well. Can you hear us too?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right, now, so let's shoot now. I want you to react to this. I understand you are aware of the fact that the infrastructure to really make these doctors stay are not there. Looking at the fact that they are underpaid, looking at the fact that they are not having competitive wages, looking at the fact that there's insecurity and several issues on ground. Don't you think that the government should, as a matter of urgency, prioritize investment in the health sector? Make the health sector to be something attractive to investors, so that people who have, you know, a share in these things and want to bring improvement to the health sector can come on board, such that when they come on board, they will be able to put things in place and make these health experts and health practitioners stay in the country and provide service. What do you think concerning this?
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Shoot.
So the problems or the challenges that we face in the country, in Nigeria, there are myriads of them.
Yeah.
You have highlighted a few of them in the health sector, peculiar to the health sector. But I dare to say that if you address only the health sector problems and you don't address the health sector related problems, people are still not going to stay.
So what are those problems? Let us know.
The health sector problems are some of the things you have highlighted.
All right.
Equipment, facilities to carry out diagnostics, to carry out therapy, to carry out treatments for patients. Now, these things are lacking. Nigerian doctors have been well trained. They've been equipped with the knowledge, requisite to carry out a lot of intervention, but you don't have the requisite facility. I dare to say even theater space to operate patients. You have to reschedule patients again over and over and over and over again because there's no theater space. Now, that's pharmacy. You talk about drugs. You don't have drugs even available for our patients to buy.
And even if we have it, how much are they? Can it be really accessed?
We have bed space problems in the hospital. So you have a lot of that in the health sector. Now, the health sector related challenges. Yeah. We talk about the issue of security.
Wow, I think we're having issues with the connection of John Oladipo. All right, if we can have you again, we'll have you share your thoughts with us. Dr. Akoni, are you there? Oh, Dr. Akoni is
Hello,
also...
can you hear me?
Oh, okay, fine. Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, so just go ahead.
So I was talking about the health sector related problems now.
All right.
That the issue of security, of lives and property, the issue of the economic situation, if the people that you take care of cannot afford care, it makes healthcare difficult and almost impossible. The issue of health insurance, the issue of investment in health, the United Nations have stipulated a compulsory 25% investment of the annual budget, between 15 to 25%.
Hello.
But currently what we have in Nigeria is between
Oladipo, can you hear me?
5%, barely 5%.
Dr. John Oladipo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right. For the benefit of our viewers, we're really enjoying your conversation, but can you just turn on your camera so that we can see you?
Okay. Now.
All right, it's fine. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I was talking about the issue of the security issues, the economic issues, the issues that has to do with political will and leadership.
Okay.
About to invest in the healthcare sector and to improve the general status, economic status of the populace. Because if the populace cannot afford healthcare, it means that the doctor will just be writing there's financial constraint. So
all right, let me just pause you, John Oladipo. Let me just pause you for a moment. I'm going to come back to you. We have Dr. Dr. Asare. I hope I got that correctly. He's also joining us via Zoom to share his thoughts with us. Are you there, Doctor? Hello, Dr. Osare. Are you there? Good morning. Good morning, but your line is not clear. Can you reconnect back and let us know so we can have you share your thought with us? All right, so while we allow you to do that, okay, are you back? Your line is still not clear. We can't hear you properly. All right, while we allow you to do that, let's go back to John Oladipo. John Oladipo, you can speak now.
Okay, so the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors have brought out a communique from the extended National Officers Committee meeting, and we have rejected in totality, alongside other medical bodies. We have rejected this bill in totality. That
Okay, we're having network issues. It's so obvious, but then we just have to manage up with what we have. Dr. Osare, can you hear us now?
I've
Sorry.
mentioned the fact that
Can you hear us? Dr. Asori, can you hear us? Doctor, can you hear us? Asori, can you hear us? All right, I think we're having issues with your connection. We're very sorry about that. We hope, you can join us before the end of the show. All right, Dr. Dakpo, can you continue?
So I said,
well, we're having issues right this morning.
Yeah, I think he was.
Okay, so when you're able to establish connection with us, you let us know.
I think he has enumerated quite a lot of issues definitely in the sector.
Obviously.
From the health sector. Okay, I think he's back.
Okay, can you hear us now?
yes, loud and clear.
All right, so go ahead.
So I was saying that the government should rather address other issues.
Okay.
And so the earlier speaker was talking about that there is no database. The database is there. The database is available.
Let me butt in. If you say the database is there, why is he giving us a wrong report saying that we have 10,000 doctors, whereas I read the report saying we have 57,000 plus. So it means these guys have lost touch of our reality when it comes to the health sector. Not to even talk of if this bill he is proposing will meet the needs of the health sector. So it's a two different ball game now.
So you can obviously see that the honorable member that
Daniel
proposed
Johnson.
that bill is not in touch with reality.
Of course.
With the health sector.
Of course.
All right, now let me ask you, Mr. John Oladapo, you've mentioned a myriad of issues bedeviling the sector, from the health sector to health-related sector. You talked about, lack of facility. You talked about doctors and nurses and other professionals who are underpaid. You talked about issues that has to do with accessibility and availability of drugs, especially at pharmaceutical stores. Now, what could be done? Let's be very practical. What could be done to be able to address these issues that you just mentioned, first of all?
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Go ahead.
So the primary issue is the political will. The political will and the funding. Now, when you have the political will to transform the health sector would improve dramatically. The amount of money that is spent on health, on medical tourism per year is astronomical. You cannot imagine how much is spent. If we spend that same amount on improving the healthcare system in our country, we would improve. So we need, first of all, the political will. The political leader must express the will
John,
to improve.
We beg to put you on a pause mode. We just don't want to lose our other guest who is also right on Zoom now. Dr. Asori, are you there? Hello, Dr. Asori. I guess all right now. Interesting. So welcome back to the show. Can you now react to the topic we are discussing? Is a concern, a bill being put together to really address the health issue by Daniel Johnson, a Senate member. Now, what is your take on this matter? Very quickly before we lost you again.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
I'm Dr. Sorry. That's the right pronunciation of my name. Dr. Sorry. Okay. Widely criticized. I want to draw
Your line is
different aspects.
your line is really not friendly at all, and we won't allow you continue in this manner. We want you to please connect with us again, hopefully before the show, wraps up. All right, so let's go back to you now, John Oladapo, if you're still there. Hello, John, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so let's hear you now.
So I'm talking. So you were asking about practical solutions to the problem of the health sector.
Yeah.
And I opined that political will is central to improving the lot of the health sector. I dare say that the health sector is indeed ripe for privatization or for a PPP arrangement that would ensure that the required services are available. Those who can afford to pay for it should pay for it, while there's universal health coverage for the.
All right,
Mr. Okay, just hold on. Doctor, sorry, are you there? Doctor, sorry, are you there? I wanted him to respond to the issue of funding because,
Okay.
like he said,
who among them?
Doctor, sorry, since we couldn't establish connection with. Are you there, Doctor?
Yes, I'm trying to connect with the possible media until we are trying my lines.
Your line is critically not clear. It's critically bad, and I know it's due to the network.
Okay,
All right, let's go on a break so that we are give you that opportunity to address the issue, and then we'll be right back.